In this lesson we're going to keep working on our second cat. So just as before, I'm going to place I have placed my sketch there, and I'm going to go here to create the second cat. So I'm going to go to my shapes, and again remember that I'm making this out of basic shapes, so just go to my rectangle and pressing shift to make it a square, move it a little bit, and remember that my sketch was a little bit rough, so you could always improve it if you think that, for example, I was doing kind of a rectangle on my sketch and I actually want a square. So do that. Remember that you can create triangles by going to your polygon tool or your star tool, and always remember to group the shapes that you know that are going to share the same color. And another thing that you should always remember is to align them properly. Now I'm going to keep creating my eyes with an ellipse tool. And again, do a little rectangle, and I can place it here, and I could go to my direct selection tool by pressing A or going here and round my corners a little bit, so I get something like this. So try to experiment with these little differences. And just the same, we're gonna go right click, transform, reflect, and make a copy of that line that we just created. As you probably have been seeing, I like to work with the same process. So I tend to do a lot of reflect and work with basic shapes. This is actually what I do a lot. So here, for example, I'm doing the whiskers, and then I'm gonna select them and then go right click, transform, reflect. So I get the exact same whiskers and just simply make a copy. Now let's just align everything. And this is simply using the pen tool to create the lines that are going to be there on the square. So I'm just simply going to go right click, transform, reflect, and make a copy, and just move it there, group everything, click on my big square, click on it again to make it a key object, and align them. Always be sure to align everything. Then I'm gonna go here and make some rectangle right here, then make a copy while I drag it and press Alt, and make the same here. Select the three of them. Then I'm gonna go to Align to Selection and go here to the horizontal distribute space, so they share the same distance between them. I'm gonna group them, and I'm gonna actually select the bottom anchor points with my direct selection tool, and I'm gonna round them all the way to the center. I'm gonna group them and make sure that you align them again. I'm gonna do the same with this tail, so I'm just gonna go to my pen tool and just make the points. Then I'm gonna do little rectangles, place them right there. Then go to one of the corners and round it, and make sure that they have the same distance. So I'm gonna select both of them, and I'm gonna align them to the object, and I'm gonna make the distribute spacing to 0. And you can see here that this is not aligning properly, so I can try to do it manually. And sometimes Illustrator has this because it's not letting me align it properly. So what you can do is try to do it as a shape. So you can see that now they are okay, but try to do the same with the other side. So I just reflect it and then just align it. You can see the one on the other side is not aligning properly, so I can double click on it and move it. And as I said, sometimes it doesn't work like that. And I think that you could work is try to go to view and then remove a snap to pixel, and that way you can move them around the object a little bit more freely, sorry. So now let's go and have this back to outlines. Now I'm gonna add some color to my cat. And first I'm gonna go to my tail, increase the weight to something like 14, and go again to my, and make sure that my caps are rounded, and go back to my width tool and just increase it and decrease it on certain areas so you can see the difference. So maybe something like that. You can see how that is giving the cat a whole different personality. To change the color, this one is going to be kind of a light warm gray. Let's change it and keep moving, and remember that you need something darker. Just decrease the brightness and do the same for all the pieces. Now select the ears and go to your eyedropper, press I on your keyboard, and that way you can easily select the colors that you need. And send to back the objects so they are on the right position, and you could do that with Ctrl Shift open bracket. Now let's select our eyes, make them black, remove the stroke, the color of the nose, maybe this one is going to be lighter instead of darker. Now I'm going to go to my tail, and remember that when you press Shift, you can only get the color and not the whole appearance. So let's group anything and increase the weight, so something like that for the eyebrows, and you can see that I don't have to make a rectangle, and I group everything that shares the same color. I'm gonna change the color of the lines, and these ones I'm not going to change the profile, I'm simply gonna make them thicker, something like 2 points. And let's bring to front the nose and select the whiskers. Just make them a little bit darker. Of this I think I have the colors, and you can see how those rectangles on the top are at the moment outside my shape, and that is on purpose, so you're gonna see why in the next lesson. So I'm just simply scaling it up a little bit and moving it around. I'm gonna delete the sketch layer, again go to this little icon on the layers and sequence them. Remove the layer that is empty now, and again go to File, Export As, and save it as a PDF. And this one I'm gonna name it Cat2. And with this we are ready to go back to Photoshop and paint them.